UFC 327. We're going to give you some dogs. We're going to give you some favorites, and we're going to break down PFL at the end. So we got a jam-packed show for everybody coming at you for the main event. Carlos Ulberg, the guy we've made a lot of money on over the years. Can we do it again this week? And facing Jiri Prochazka. So, full disclosure before we get going, Jim, my picks on this show just have not been good, but I got to give a little caveat here, guys. When we do this show, we have to give picks for each fight, okay? That does not mean it's an official bet. Our official bets, what we play with our own money, are up at Wager Talk. So all of you all-access clients, you get all of our plays in all sports. And as bad as I've been in UFC, I've more than made up for it in some of our other sports. If you are just watching this show and just cherry-picking plays, you're just taking your bankroll into your own hands. So we do not bet every single one of these fights. So, but you guys, the OGs that have been with us for a while, you get it. You know how it works. But I got a couple comments about like, you only got some right on the video last week. And I was like, well, yeah, I know. I didn't bet all those, but I digress. We got to get into it. So we're going to break down UFC first, and then we're going to break down PFL. So if you are interested in PFL, stick around because we are going to go through all of it. So let's get into UFC, and we'll start with the main event. Jiri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg. Yeah, like I said, we've just constantly bet Ulberg and constantly cash. Do we do it again this week?
I'm not. I have. To me, it's a 2-round fight. Ulberg has to finish Jiri inside of 2.
Oh, wow.
If this gets to 3, I think it becomes Jiri's fight. The pressure will start to mount. Ulberg has not fought anyone like Jiri, and that goes for everybody. Every time we break down a Jiri fight, there's nobody like Jiri. He's just his own style. Things come from angles where they shouldn't work. He is the epitome of like what not to do in fighting, but it just works for him. I liken him to Keith Jardine years ago. Remember the awkwardness of Keith Jardine? It just wreaked havoc for people because you're not used to it. It's just stuff comes from weird angles. A prime example is when Jiri decides not to move his head on a jab and just duck his forehead into it. Like, who else does this stuff? Come on. Who stands across the ring and stares a hole through your soul before every fight? There's 2 people, Jiri and Alex. By the way, best stare downs ever. Can never be matched with those moments. Ulberg's going to have to finish Jiri inside of 2. After that, I think it becomes Jiri's fight. And I don't know if Ulberg has seen the type of pressure that Jiri is going to bring. I think he's going to make things come for weird angles. The anxiety level is going to build for Ulberg. Ulberg is completely capable of ending this fight inside of 2. If he lands something clean, I think he can knock anybody out. But I'll be looking to play fight doesn't start round 4. Kind of same thing we did last week with the main event live on the show. I think you just parlay anything from round 3 on as far as unders go. And see, I mean, fight doesn't go is minus 350. That's a damn good number for a Jiri fight. And an Ulberg who hasn't had a 5-round war that Jiri is going to bring. So either way, I think this fight ends. But I'm going to pick Jiri. I think Ulberg is not going to get to him inside of 2.
Yeah, I'm stunned at the minus 350 to not go the distance. It's a Jiri fight. Like, yeah. That's crazy. He turned... Even if guys want to be patient, he doesn't let you. He forces the action. So even if you want to try and bide your time and, you know, watch your cardio, he's going to be in your face. And I'm with you that's an incredible parlay piece. I mean, you go back and look at Jiri's last fights. Roundtree looked great. And then all of a sudden he gasses out and there's Jiri to end it. Jamal Hill. I made a lot of money off of fading Jamal Hill. Alex Pereira, same thing. Rakic, same thing. Pereira, same thing. Like, it was just like, these fights are going to end early. So I'll go head to head with you a little bit. I'm not betting Ulberg at this point, but just because I think the best way to attack this fight is to do unders of some sort. But I do like Ulberg. I think he's just kind of the younger, fresher, like, has a lot less wear and tear, like you said. Like, what's he like if he goes to wars? Well, that's kind of one of the things is he hasn't been in those fights where he's absorbed a ton of damage. We've seen Jiri absorb a lot of damage, and Ulberg's 35 and Jiri is 33. Would you have ever guessed that?
That was pretty surprising. I thought they were
Is
going to
that
be even Steven, but no.
look how many fights Jiri has been in. So I'll go with Ulberg. It's not a very confident call as far as a money line, just because the minus 350 was stunning. I was like, oh, we're going to get a minus 900. And I was like, wait, you're going to be minus 350 on a Jiri fight?
Yeah, pretty
so
shocking.
I like Ulberg's distance control, his striking and cardio management has just gotten light years. He trains and practices and spars with the best in the world. Not that Jiri doesn't, but I just have loved what I've seen from Ulberg. It's been fun. It's been fun seeing when he first started and going, oh, we're going to make a lot of money off that guy, and just have him, kind of work his way up to the top. For purposes of this show and for purposes of the haters, I will pick Ulberg. That way, if Ulberg loses, they can say, Andy, you suck. But yeah, money wise, if I'm betting anything, it's going to be unders. Murzakanov and Paulo Costa. How do you see this one?
I'm fading Paulo Costa. It's that simple for me. The guy is a freaking clown still. His press conference today was an absolute joke, the stuff that was coming out of his mouth. I don't think that he's serious. At this point now, we're 34 years old. And what is Costa's claim to fame? Like, what moments? I know this guy's been around forever, right? But, like, what is he most known for? Drinking a bottle of wine before the Israel Adesanya fight?
Legend.
Going
He's
life
a
and
legend.
death with the retiring Luke Rockhold? Okay. Winning a unanimous decision against Roman Kopylov? I know we're coming off a win here, but Murzakanov's done everything that he's been supposed to do his entire career. I think it's a very educated camp. I think he has a very educated striking style where he doesn't waste anything. And he did the damn thing against Rakic. Everybody saw face-offs and saw the pudgy Russian, the older Russian, and then Rakic looks like an Adonis. And what happens? He nukes a guy again because he has educated striking. Now, the legendary durability of Paulo Costa could come into question this fight, but that's why I'm just going to take Murzakanov on the money line. I'm going to hate myself if Paulo Costa does nothing going into round 3 and I don't have money on Murzakanov at a playable number. And we say to ourselves, yup, it's the same old thing with Costa. Nothing's changed. It's all about the lead up, all about the name. And meanwhile, Murzakanov's nuking people and running to 16-0, cracking into the top 10. Would you have guessed before this fight that Murzakanov was ranked higher than Costa?
Yeah. Yeah, guy's undefeated.
He just always gets the short, like, no notoriety, no praise. Like, this is almost like a coming out party, which is wild to say at his age and his record. But there's still a lot of people who don't know who this guy is. Also, a little birdie. I know a guy that's held some pads for Murzakanov.
Yeah, you tell this story, yeah.
Some bitch hits hard. It's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. So if there was ever somebody to crack Costa's chin, it's going to be Murzakanov. I'm taking Murzakanov.
I'll make the case for Paulo Costa. Just first off, it's a price thing, and I'll worry about what Murzakanov going to look at age 36 here now after a bunch of fights here. I mean, not exactly the best like strength of field here. Rakic, come on, come on. I know Rakic looks good, but there's a lot of people that look good in a basketball jersey. Doesn't mean they can shoot threes. Brenton Ribeiro, that's not exactly aging well. Alonzo Menefield, I almost think this decision win against Dustin Jacoby might be his best win. Like, showed that he could go the distance. Devin Clark, Tafon, and Jui. Like, come on, these guys are bums. He's 16-0. I just don't know what happens when he can't knock out Costa. I went back and looked. I know he did knock out Kopylov, but man, he put it on him. And I feel like he's been getting a little bit more serious. Like losing to Whitaker, but it did go the distance. Split against Strickland, I thought that was a much better performance than I thought. I think you bet it with me, like Strickland, but like we didn't feel great about it. We were pretty surprised. And then he really did put it on Kopylov. It looked like he took that fight serious. I like the volume and I love the body work from Costa against Kopylov. And I think if he gets that going against Murzakanov, he can take away the KO power. And without the KO power, I just don't like the skill set of Murzakanov. I actually think Costa's better at distance. Like Murzakanov, yes, the incredible like one-shot power is truly insane. But I just think Costa, if he weathers the storm in the first round, I know that we say that about every Murzakanov fight, but this is a guy with a real chin, with real durability, that if he weathers it, the body work, I think, is going to be a problem for Murzakanov. So for fun on this one, I'll go Paulo Costa here. Have not bet it, but for me, it would be dog or pass. So. Oh, God, the guy that is making all the headlines this week, Josh Hokit. I don't know what to make of him outside of the octagon. He's pretending to be this Mexican guy. He's walking around trying to pick fights with, or just get into it with Ulberg and Jiri. And listen, it's good for headlines. It's good for social media. It's good for building your brand. I'll give him that. UFC probably loves it because this guy's getting more clicks than anything that's going on this week. But he gets to face Curtis Blaydes this week. So once they shut the cage, antics don't win you fights. Does he continue his run, or is this where it comes to an end?
What I do like about Hokit is when they shut the cage, he puts the antics to the side until he's in a real dominant position. You know, the jokes and you know, spanking Freeman and flipping him off didn't happen till Freeman quit in round one. Keep in mind, this guy made someone quit in round one. Okay? He's made a couple guys quit
Freeman.
in round one.
Freeman.
Oh, I know it's Freeman. We could go back to it. We've watched Josh for a long time, and what he does is he stays pressuring you. He stays in your face. And he doesn't stop. The guy is a freak athlete for his size. He's a guy that packs on pounds to fight at heavyweight. He can most certainly cut down and fight lower. And I think that athleticism gives him a huge advantage. If you look at Curtis Blaydes, the first thing that jumps off the page is not athleticism. It's a wrestling pedigree. And Hokit's wrestling pedigree is better collegiately than Curtis Blaydes was. Two-time NCAA All-American. Like, there's really not much better than that, other than being champion, 4 years running like some of these guys. But I think he's really adapted his style into MMA, where it's just pressure, pressure, pressure. The big red flag for me in this fight is the fact that Curtis Blaydes is coming off injuring his knee. I think that's really going to affect his ability to stuff the takedowns and keep Hokit off of him. We don't know how 100% it is. Is it 100%? Why is the UFC doing this fight? Because they need stars. They want to push Hokit. I get it. And Blaydes, not doing the best as of late. He ekes by with some fights, but he does not look good. It does not look like the guy that everybody was ready to anoint champion 4 years ago. And you just can't. We say this all the time with wrestlers. You can only do that style for so long until you are shot. And what did we see the last fight? We saw Blaydes getting wrestled. Blaydes getting takedown. Jailton Almeida took him down. So if Jailton Almeida can take you down, Josh Hokit can take you down. It's a question if he can survive. I'll tell you right now, I think Blaydes survives. I think this is going to be Hokit by decision. I think he banks 2 rounds. And then in round 3, he's going to have the cardio advantage, and he's just going to cruise. I think he wants to put a 3-round display on and dominate Curtis Blaydes. So I'm going to pick Hokit. I can't bet on Blaydes coming off a knee injury. Just can't do it.
Well, I'll go back to a theory. I'm stunned you didn't bring this up.
Oh, right ahead.
Guy off of a knee injury, fight doesn't go.
Okay.
This has been a tried and true theory we have. Mm-hmm. Like anytime we see, guy coming off a big knee injury that required surgery, and Curtis Blaydes had surgery on meniscus and MCL. That's a big time surgery. It's it's not ACL, not patella, but there's work done. And whenever we see these guys come back, the fight just doesn't. They just don't go the distance. So for whatever reason, that's the only way I'll be doing it. I think it's a great live bet. If you're not a believer in Hokit, like if you think Blaydes can stuff the wrestling, then you're just waiting. Yeah, there's no reason to bet Blaydes before. You just wait and see it. So I'm perfectly fine with missing out on the Hokit money line and just waiting to see, but I'll do something with fight doesn't go. And I know Blaydes isn't what he was, but you look at who Blaydes has lost to. He lost to Aspinall, and they've been knockouts. And I'm not sure Hokit's got the one-shot knockout power. It's that pressure. And listen, say what you want about Curtis Blaydes. He's a hell of a lot better than Uriel, Max Jimenez, and Denzel Freeman. Like Blaydes beats those guys pretty easily too. So it's a live bet opportunity for me. But I would you could convince me to do the main event and Curtis Blaydes Hokit not to go. Because the other thing, if Hokit doesn't get the finish, and all of a sudden, like if he goes ballistic in round one and does the almost gets the finish thing, and all of a sudden he's tired up against a much bigger guy, I could see Blaydes getting on top of him and finishing. So that would be the only way that I would recommend playing this one. Or you could just take Reyes and Walker to not go the distance. That would be another way to make money off of this fight. I cannot pick a winner in this one. I just think or is this the classic 2026 UFC, like it completely throws us for a loop and Reyes and Walker goes the distance and nukes everybody's parlay?
I know you're worried. and you legitimately are correct in saying that. This does reek of one of those fights where you're like, oh, it's a sparring session. Okay, about a minute in. The good news is you'll be able to jump on decision and get a good number if you notice that really, really early. It's got to be before the end of the first round, obviously. I don't think this fight goes. People keep talking about Dom Reyes' chin. Like, have we forgot how bad Johnny Walker's chin is? Like, okay, Dom Reyes gets knocked out by the guy fighting for the title. He's fighting for the title. It's Ulberg. We loved Ulberg against Reyes. Loved him. Like, of course that happened. Meanwhile, you have Johnny Walker, who, what in the world has happened to this guy?
Coming off a win.
The fact that it was because Zhang couldn't figure out how to check a leg kick was pretty freaking comical. Like, talk about a hole exposed in your game in that fight. About 2 minutes in, you go, oh, dear God, this guy has no clue how to check a leg kick. He's 19-6 and has never had to check a leg kick before. It was as obvious as could be. All right? Dom Reyes knows how to check a leg kick. I don't think we're going to see another leg kick TKO. And before that, if Johnny Walker gets touched at all, Johnny Walker's going to sleep. We've seen this guy on skates, up, down, left, and right. We've seen more of an ability to take a punch from Reyes than we have Walker. I'm picking Dominic Reyes. I think the fairy tale of coming off that win for Johnny Walker is over. Johnny also falls directly into my social media theory, which we spoke about last week, is the guy doing all the interviews and on all the podcasts. That's a problem here. When you're doing Instagram videos with 10 cute blondes hanging all over you and everything, I'm not in, man. Dom Reyes is focused. I'm going with Dom Reyes.
I can't disagree with you. I mean, yeah, it's a Johnny Walker Dom Reyes fight. Like you you probably do have to do something with the under. I mean, you can make the case for every single fight on the main card goes the under. That's a fun parlay.
I agree.
You know,
you got me convinced on this Hokit. You're 100% right with the knee injury theory. So you got me swung there.
What's so weird about the knee injury theory is we've seen people coming off the knee injury win by finish and people coming off the knee injury get finished. It's just like whenever we hear knee injury, return under. I'll side with you on Reyes. You're right. Just the one shot power, and that's the other thing. In order for Reyes to get knocked out, he has to get hit clean. Okay,
Mhm.
it's not really what Johnny Walker does. Like Ming and Zhang, you're right. I watched that. I was a millisecond away from grabbing like a 20-1 on Johnny Walker live when it was just because Zhang was this huge favorite, and you could just
Yeah.
all of a sudden you could see, Zhang's legs in trouble, and all of a sudden, and had the live bet, and DraftKings did the suspended lines are
Yeah.
suspended, and I was like, but it wasn't one shot. It was a bunch of things. Ozdemir, he gets knocked out. Eklive, he gets knocked out. No contest.
And
Can't
these
even
two
finish
guys who don't
Anthony
get
Smith.
knockouts, keep in mind.
Yeah. So who's he finish? Paul Craig. So are you really going to test is he going to be the one that gets the one shot on Reyes? Because that's what Ulberg did. I'm not sure Johnny Walker has that in him. I think in order for Walker to win, he's going to have this fight extended, and I'm not sure that it does. So yeah, you could take Reyes by finish. Just take some kind of under because listen, there is a chance Reyes' chin really got checked hard, and maybe he's not 100%,
Yeah, I
back.
agree. Yeah, under's the
There's
safest
always a
way.
chance.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, there's
For
always
sure.
a chance. So, all right, move to Cub Swanson. Boy, Jim, we could follow our rules and fade a fighter who is openly retiring. It's probably a system play just because it's what we do, and it's worked many, many times for us. But then they bring in Nate the Train Landwehr, and this instead of this feeling like, oh, they're giving some young and up and comer guy a chance to beat the retiring fighter, it almost feels like they're giving Cub Swanson a real chance here to knock somebody out. Where do you land on Cub Swanson and Nate Landwehr? This one's tough. This one's real tough.
Before we talk about this fight, let's talk about the retirement theory. Do you know that since the Paramount deal, we've had 2 retirement fights? You know what the
Okay.
retiring fighters' records are in those retirement fights?
What are they?
2-0. 2-0. Undefeated. Michael Chiesa?
We even knew that
Hold
one
on.
though. Like
Eric
we knew that
Anders.
one.
Eric Anders retired
Okay,
on a win.
it's
Our
true.
list of fighters who have retired on a win is getting longer.
But what's crazy is we broke our rules on those. I just went over that. I just went over. Well, you got to fade the retiring fighter. We weren't betting against Michael Chiesa in that
Oh
fight.
no, it's got nothing to do with rules. I'm just stating a fact that they're 2-0, so we have to extend that Chris Lytle, Robbie Lawler list. All right.
Lot depends on
Unfortunately, we have to.
when you get
I
Nico Price.
I think they're wise to giving these guys a little bit better matchups going forward. That's the point that I'm getting at, and I think this is a prime example. Is you could have taken Cub Swanson and thrown him out there to a top 10 featherweight and built a name and get Cub Swanson killed, but that's not going to earn you any fans. Throwing Nate Landwehr out there, we know that this is a competitive fight that Cub most certainly can win. I just find it really hard to believe that Cub's going to go and retire off of 2 wins in a row. He's coming off a win already. That was his retirement. He walked it back after. He's like, I really enjoy coaching, all this stuff. This is probably my last one. And then when he was done, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to say retired yet. I actually had this conversation post-fight at the cage. So it was like ready to say it. Kids were ringside, like all ready to go. And he said, no, you know what? One more. I'm just having too much fun coaching these guys. And his fighters are winning. He's a very good coach. He's been around forever. I think he's getting a little greedy here.
Oh,
Trying to go for another W. I just wonder about the emotions on the Cub Swanson side. He's never been a guy to hide his emotions. You know that place is going to be rocking for him, especially in Miami. WEC's old stomping grounds was Florida. Lots of Cub guys are going to be there. I think if Nate doesn't get knocked out in the first exchange, he's live to finish Cub. At some point, there's going to be an adrenaline dump for Cub Swanson. This is the prime example of a fighter goes for a finish and doesn't get it, and you bet the other guy live at a great number. Absolutely great number. I think this is another fight does not go. I don't think there's going to be I'm going to be nice to this guy because he's retiring. Nate the Train knows one speed and one speed only. And he's going to walk forward with zero head movement. And if you can't kill him in round one, he's going to be there until he gets you out of there. So it depends on the first round. I have it circled as a complete live bet. I'm not going full on fade the retiring fighter because I think this is a very, very well put together matchup for Cub Swanson and Nate Landwehr. It's going to be a good fight. I think this is going to be a great fight. This could actually, if this goes long, this could be a fight of the night candidate, which would be wild in Cubs' retirement fight.
I agree. It could be an amazing fight, but also kind of a somewhat of a sloppy fight. It's both guys. They mirror each other, and really, the only difference that I have is one guy has announced he's retiring. The other guy is only a couple fights away. And I was gonna bring up the Chiesa fight. Like, I would have probably faded Chiesa against Carlson Harris, who he was supposed to fight, but then they give you Nico Price, and you throw all of it out the window. And then it turns out Nico Price is retiring. So actually, retiring fighters are 2-1.
Oh, that's a good point. I got to average him in. Great point.
It just happened to be in the same fight, so we were guaranteed. I'm going to pick Cub Swanson. I think Nate's done. I don't see it with Nate. He's slower. So you go back and I go back to the David Onama fight. I think that was it. I think that was kind of the beginning of the end for Nate Lingo. I know he gets the win against Austin Lingo, but it's Austin Lingo, and you just see he just doesn't have it as much as he used to. And don't forget, he gave a lot, just overseas, like over in Russia.
All those guys juiced out of their minds.
He's fighting juiced up Russians, like for a majority, like kind of in his prime.
No drug testing in those leagues, none.
Yeah. So and don't forget, he did get knocked out by Herbert Burns. But after that Onama fight, you could just see it was just like, okay, this guy's on his down. So I know he gets the win against Jamal Emmers, but looked terrible against Ige, absorbs a ton of damage against Doo Ho Choi, and then looks good against Morgan Charrier, but then gasses and gets finished. And that's a terrible look. And also, it was a bad finish. Got his chin hit right on the chin, whips his head to the side to where it's a little bit more damage that is not, you're not going to recover from. Both guys, when they get tired, they drop their hands, they throw a lot of shots. And Cub Swanson, I know he knocked out Billy Q. He was beat up, but Billy Q was beat up too. This wasn't like one of those random flash knockouts that where Cub was losing the whole time.
Keep in mind, that was the big line move
on
Billy Q. Remember that?
Yeah.
And what did we end up doing? Something wrong with his shoulder? Something was going on with that one, but he looked like a shell. And he was still able to touch him. Great point.
Yeah, he was still able to get there. I agree it's going to be violent, but I think Nate, if he doesn't get the finish in the first, I think he's a sitting duck. And I could see Cub getting the KO win again. I think Nate's. I can make the case that Cub Swanson's 44 fights, he might have absorbed less than Nate in 18-7. There's no way we can quantify how much damage Nate absorbed in his prime years when he's over there, as you said, fighting up the juiced up Russians. So I'll go with Cub Swanson, but again, I could see this one getting finished. So we move on to Pitbull and Pico. These guys from their previous leagues. So your take on what's happened with them since they've gotten to UFC, and what do you make of this fight?
So, fun fact, this fight was booked and ready to go when Bellator got purchased. So this was the next fight. Then Bellator sells to PFL, and they just scrap everything and run it into the freaking ground. End up losing Pitbull. Right? Just release me, go free agency. And he heads to UFC, and Pico's stuck in purgatory for 2 years at this point. That was the factor in the Pico-Murphy fight that if you guys go back or you've been with us for a while, you know my thoughts on Pico. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. But the circumstances for his debut sucked. You could not have made worse circumstances. The guy's on a big layoff fighting a top 5 guy in the division in the UFC who cut his teeth. All the pressure in the world was on Aaron Pico in that fight, and he fought like it. He fought overzealous when he needed to be calm, and he fought timid when he needed to be aggressive. It was not a good showing for Pico. I get all of that. But that was an absolute nightmare of a situation. From a company perspective, the UFC gains nothing by Pitbull winning this fight. To me, this is a get-right spot for Pico. We're going to give the fans the fight that they wanted, that Bellator couldn't get done and PFL could not get done. And we're going to match these two guys up. They've been talking about this for years. And when you look at Pitbull, we got a ton of miles. We got a ton of issues. He does win against Ige, but goes the distance. There was no violence. I mean, I don't know what the hell Ige was doing in that fight. It was an absolute mess of a fight. He does nothing against Yair. Yair doesn't have to do anything to win. And before that, he's getting smoked by Jeremy Kennedy before Kennedy decides to shit the bed in round 2 and round 3. So, I mean, what are we talking about with this guy? He's got 2 fighters that did nothing against him, and those are his wins. Pico's going to come after him and come at him. I think we're going to see the real Aaron Pico show up. This guy is not Patchy Mix. Get it out of your head. He is not Patchy Mix. He is not going to go 0 for 2, 0 for 3 in the UFC and then lose at M1 Global in Japan the following week. It's not going to happen, all right? Legitimate title challenger, this guy is. He just got caught. I love Pico in this spot. Small little sprinkle on Pico by finish. I think there's going to be some bad intentions coming Pitbull's way from the Pico side.
Can you imagine going from Pedro Carvalho, Henry Corrales to Leron Murphy? Like,
it's pretty mean what they did to him. It really, I didn't make sense to me at all.
It was pretty wild. It was definitely wild. I'm with you on Pico. Durability is the big question that you're just terrified with Pico. But is Pitbull the guy to do it? I don't think he is. Weirdly, I've correctly predicted both Pitbull fights.
You did.
Actually,
yeah.
Like, there's something weird about Ige, and Ige looked like he took NyQuil an hour before the game, or before the fight. It just looked terrible. And don't forget, you remember Jeremy Kennedy? We found out after the fight was a Faye the baby theory.
He was
had a baby
yes,
right before that, and he looked like it because he was winning, and then all of a sudden he got tired in third. So. Yeah, I'm with you. And don't forget, he lost to Sergio. He lost to Suzuki at super. Like, his wins are a guy that just had a baby who was kicking his ass, and then a Dan Ige who was asleep at the wheel. I don't see the big one-shot power that it would take. I think Pico gets the wrestling going, and I think he kind of dog walks a Pitbull. I'm with you that maybe UFC was like, that was kind of mean. We almost gave him Evloev, and so we almost gave him Evloev, and then we did give him Leron Murphy. So I'll agree with you. It's Pico minus 300-ish. You don't love the price, but I mean, there's only one way that you could be playing this one. So, all right, we move on to Kevin Holland and Randy Brown. We asked people in the comment section a while back, who's got like worse fight IQ, and we got a lot of the Randy Brown was one that we missed on that one. And this is just the matchmakers laughing. They're just like, let's do Holland and Randy Brown. Come on. So Jim, I mean, you've been the Kevin Holland guy. What are we doing with this? What are we doing with this? Let me just take my
Kevin Holland. I got to hang up the Kevin Holland hat. Let's get retired. Okay. I'm done. I may be the Kevin Holland guy, but I will say this. I'm no longer betting on Kevin Holland. I just can't with this guy. I don't think he is serious. Actually, let me rephrase that. I know he's not serious. Yeah, it's just about dollars. Every interview ends with him talking about how he just wants to get back to his farm, ride his horses, and run his farm, and go shoot guns and go hunting. Guy's not interested. This is what he does to make money. and he gets paid handsomely from the UFC to do it. And he's flat out stated if he was not making ridiculous money from the UFC, I mean, Kevin Holland's got to be making, what, 200?
He's got to be around 200K a fight now.
Yeah, whatever I mean, he's been through multiple contracts. They've all negotiated up every time. I'm sure he has a baseline as well. A lot of people don't know this, but like, as you lose, your show and win money goes down. So say you negotiate for 20K, 20 and 20, you lose, you're 18-18. You lose again, you're 14-14. So, there's a point where, again, let's go down our checklist. Does Kevin need money? I can tell you ranching is expensive. Ranching is expensive. Does Kevin give a shit? No, he doesn't give a shit. Can Kevin's opponent wrestle? Can Randy Brown wrestle? He can't. That would have led me straight to an under in this fight, but Randy Brown can't wrestle. I think it's Randy Brown by decision. I don't trust the guy, but I know he wants to be an MMA fighter. I don't think these guys are going to sit in the middle of the ring and throw heavies. There's going to be a lot of clinching, a lot of height on both sides, which will make both guys cautious. I don't think this is even a good fight. I think this fight's going to suck for 3 rounds. Give me Randy Brown by decision. I will take the guy who's serious about his career versus the guy who just needs a paycheck.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with you. I'm out on the Kevin Holland experience. I mean, even his wins. You go back and look at his wins. It was Luque dives into a choke, which was a beautiful choke, but I mean, he just kind of dove into a choke, and then
it's Luque.
Gunnar Nelson, he couldn't get him out of there, and he's losing in the first round to Ritter. Blaydes gets the rib injury thing. Gets sat down by Daniel Rodriguez. How do you lose that fight to D-Rod? It was a horrible look. And then, gets beat up by Mike Malott. And I'm with you. Randy Brown is the classic man. If you put the heart of a champion in the body of Randy Brown, you would have an unstoppable force. You really, really would. Give me Jesus Aguilar's mindset and attitude in Randy Brown's body. That guy's a champion. Loses to Bonfim. He was not performing that badly. He just ducked his head and did something stupid, and it cost him because that's what Randy Brown does. These last 3 fights sum up Randy Brown better than anything. Loses a close to Brian Battle, who immediately gets cut by the UFC. Comes back and nukes Nicholas Dobby, who's known for his durability, and then gets finished by Gabriel Bonfim. Like when he has a chance to skyrocket up. He just shits the bed. It's a classic Randy Brown. So I have Randy Brown. The length is going to be too much. I'm with you. I'm not sure what Holland does dangerous to him. I know Holland's not taking him down. Holland's not interested in wrestling and working him down. The only thing he could do is maybe throw leg kicks, but that's not Holland's game.
His leg kicks aren't good enough.
No. So both guys have openings, but you're right. It's probably going to be a boring fight. Holland's going to be talking to him and laughing and joking, and Randy Brown's going to do just enough. I agree with you. Decision is probably the way to go. So. Gamrot and Ribovics. Gamrot, you lost 2 out of 3. Is that right? I know one was Charles de Oliveira. Yeah, Dan Hooker. And Charles Oliveira, and now he gets Ribovics. Where do you land on this fight?
I'm going to say that Gamrot should be 0-3 in his last 3. That Ludovic Klein fight, my God, did Klein look bad. I don't think it was, wow, Gamrot. He's back.
Okay.
That's not what I saw in that fight. I just saw Ludovic Klein not have an answer. And leading up to that fight, Ludovic Klein had all the answers. He was on an absolute tear. I remember watching and just thinking something was off with Klein. His aggression wasn't there. He was super worried about the takedown. We've seen him do better at stuffing wrestling before. It was just a really, really bad look for Klein. So if you run that fight again, I think that's a 50-50 matchup. 5 out of 10, Ludovic Klein wins. Other than that, we'd be looking at 3 losses here in a row. The real alarming thing is that he has a loss to Dan Hooker in the year of our Lord 2024. That's terrifying. And if you remember that fight, he puts a whooping on Hooker in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, uh-oh,
Yeah, it was a big
right?
uh-oh.
Like Hooker stands up and lands. Gamrot striking is bad. And one thing you can say about Ribovics, and I'll let you do it, Ribovics got that dog in him as well. He is not going to let Gamrot walk him around the cage for 5 rounds. The second that Gamrot takes one step backwards or looks like this fight is wearing on him, Esteban is going to hunt him down like a predator should, because this kid is a predator. I know he's got some losses, but we've seen improvements. I think Gamrot's not as safe a play as people think he is here. I can see Gamrot winning round 1, and what have we seen recently? A bloody nose can win you 2 rounds. Because if that thing's bleeding in round 3, guess what? They're going to give you the round anyway because the judges are too dumb to realize which round the damage occurred in. As long as you're bleeding, you're winning, or the other guy's winning. I'm going to take Esteban. I think Esteban. I almost want to say he gets the late finish. Maybe a sprinkle round 3, round 2 finish we could play, but most likely decision. I'm going to go Ribovics. I think he does enough here to pull the victory.
Yeah, Gamrot, listen, he's 35. This is 29 fights. And what have we said about wrestlers? Eventually, at some point, you're just not that into it. And Charles Oliveira really dog walked him. You're right. The Klein looked terrible. But yeah, the Hooker fight is the one that I kind of go back to, where can Ribovics replicate that kind of fight style? Yeah, where Gamrot's probably going to take him down early, but then what happens after? And if Ribovics makes Gamrot works to get to the feet, like makes him get multiple takedowns in the first round, because you're right, that first exchange where Gamrot gets touched and can't get the takedown, Ribovics is going to start running away with it. And yeah, Ribovics, you look at who his losses are to. It was a split against Nasrat, who, that's a standard strike kind of thing. Loic took him down a bunch, but Loic worked really, really hard, and that was Ribovics' debut. Mm-hmm. That was his very first fight. So in UFC. So I think Ribovics is quite a fine play. But again, you don't need to take this thing.
Yeah.
Gamrot's going to look good at first. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you see Gamrot working hard and using a lot of energy, wait till getting close to the end of round 1, maybe about a minute left, and then jump on Ribovics. But what you have to see is Gamrot working really, really hard. You can't see the takedowns and control come with ease. But if he's having to work really hard, just know that in rounds 2 and 3, Ribovics is going to be the fresher fighter, especially on the feet. So Ribovics is the play, but there's no reason to do it. And that's the nice thing about it. If you do like Ribovics and you don't want to play him before and you wait to live and it's not going well, you don't have to fire off a live bet. So Tatiana Suarez and Luque coming in as the underdog here. I'm guessing you disagree with that line move and you like the dog.
This has been I've been dying to break this one down. This is
okay.
Believe it or not, of all the fights on this card, I am pumped about this one here. I'll be straight up. I love Luque at plus 130. I love a fighter that we can't rely on, we can't depend on, that will do the opposite of what we want her to do. But we're getting a gift in this fight, and I don't think anybody's talking about it. Tatiana is basically on our side if we're Luque fans, because she is going to make Luque fight with her strongest skill set, which is wrestling. Tatiana is not going to box for 3 rounds. If she does, she's a dead woman walking. Dead. Absolutely dead. So I think we're getting the best of both worlds here. If she decides to be the wrestler that doesn't wrestler and strike with Luque, Lupe's going to win this fight. She's got better boxing, better chin. She's not getting hurt by Tati. If she decides to wrestle, we've seen Suarez's wrestling succeed against Amanda Lemos. What did we just see Jillian
Robertson.
Robertson.
Yeah, Jillian Robertson.
Do? Lupe's better. Lupe's a great wrestler. So I think we're getting the best of both worlds. We're getting plus 130 on Lupe right here. Tatiana Suarez's ship has sailed. And if Patchy Mix is any example of the type of training that's going on at that gym and preparation, we have seen her eke by this fight with Amanda Lemos because Lemos can't stuff a takedown. Other than that, what shows you that this girl has made any improvements since she fought Jessica Andrade in 2023? I mean, come on. What are we doing here? Younger fighter, more momentum. Lupe Godinez, plus 130 dog.
Yeah, the injuries have made Tatiana Suarez kind of a really big, like, what if type of situation. I mean, you go back, way back when on The Ultimate Fighter, you were like, my God, who's going to beat this woman? And then for a while, nobody did beat her, and she was getting great matchups, and just the injuries caught up, and she was kind of skating by. And one of the biggest bets I've made in UFC was this Wile over. I'll never forget when Jim called me and was like, what do you think the odds are on Wile Tatiana? I was like, oh, I don't know, Wile minus 600. Like, Jim was like, oh no, oh boy, are you wrong? And
Greatest day
this
of my
fight,
life.
yeah, this fight against Lemos was a really bad look and a win. It's one of those where it was a win and it was a bad look because it's just obvious Tatiana's body just has too many injuries and wear and tear. She doesn't have the flexibility. And you're right. She controlled Lemos and then almost got knocked out in the third round. Like, she was hanging on for dear life, for dear life in the third round. And listen, if we do get Tatiana trying to strike because she can't wrestle, Lupe's going to piece her up. And you're right. Lupe is shifty enough to get out of some of these wrestling exchanges, and I don't think she needs to get out of too many of them to really get Tatiana frustrated and almost tired. I don't know if tired is the word, but physically unable to get to him. I went back and watched that Lemos fight, and you're just like, man, Tatiana is so stiff, and there's just so much scar tissue in some of those joints, and there's just no flexibility there, and it's just holding on and not being able to do any damage. And yeah, what we've always look who Lupe has lost to: Vernon McKenzie, John, the ones that just fought for the belt. Like, so Lupe's frustrating as hell, but the fact is she does get these wins by hook or by crook. So I agree with you that I'm not sure where these odds are coming from on Tatiana. So I'll side with you that Lupe's the play.
What happened the last time Tatiana fought a wrestler? She's only fought one other person that could wrestle.
Yeah,
and that was Weili Zhang.
Yeah, and we said don't be surprised if Weili's the better wrestler. It's Tatiana. Like, no.
Round two. What happened?
Yeah, she was the second best wrestler in the fight, which sucks because there was only two people in that fight. So we move on to Markel Mederos and Chris Padilla. By the way, I forgot to announce at the beginning, we're back to doing the free 3-day pass. So leave in the comment section, how many significant strikes will there be in the main event? Jiri and Ulberg. Guess how many significant strikes will there be in the main event? All you have to do is put in the comment section and your Wager Talk username. Whoever's closest will win a free 3-day pass. Sorry about that. I forgot to announce at the beginning, but we do that every week. I just thought it was nice to save that announcement before a Markel Mederos Chris Padilla fight. So I have a strong opinion on this one. What do you think?
Ooh, all right. I like Markel Mederos. I like Markel Mederos by decision. I don't care what happens. Just give me fight goes the distance. I think this is a decision waiting to happen here. So that's what I'll go with. If we go back and look, decision, I'll take it. I love that Mederos has that one loss. We don't have a young fighter with false sense of confidence. He's taken an L. He's come back from it. He's learned from it. I think that Chris Padilla is a tough guy who can hang in there, but I don't believe he's going to have the same kind of pedigree that Markel Mederos has. It's just a regional guy who made it to the UFC and is a good fighter, but there's just natural gifts that sometimes you can't overcome in a fight, whether your opponent just has. So I'm going to go Mederos by decision. Short and sweet.
You and I are big time head-to-head in this one.
All
I
right.
love Padilla. I love Padilla in this one. So I will take the man that is undefeated in the UFC. That's a trick question because they both are. But Chris Padilla has actually fought UFC caliber fighters, unlike Markel Mederos. So Padilla, I didn't know what to make of this guy. I didn't really like him coming into the UFC, but I really didn't like James Lontop.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mad at myself because I was like, we need to fade James Lontop. And then I didn't in that fight. And Padilla picked up on a real, I mean, it was a very obvious tell that Lontop kept trying to do the same takedown move over and over and over again, but Padilla picked up on it and choked him out. Wrong Zhu, Padilla's probably losing that fight, blasts Wrong Zhu in the eye and gets the doctor stoppage. I am a big Jai Herbert fan. This win really impressed me. Being able to go the distance and get a split against Jai Herbert. And then say which one about Ismail Bonfim. That's a quality win to finish Bonfim. I think this guy's got a little bit of everything. He's got power. We know that. He pulled out a submission, and he's got another submission, right before he comes in there. So he can do a little bit of everything. And I can't with Mederos' 3 UFC wins. You got Landon Quinones, who went 0 for 2 in UFC, and now is doing custom rules against, remember Mike Breeden?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. A split against Austin Hubbard. That's not good. And then Mark Choinsky, who, I'm sorry, Mark the Shark, stop it. Guy was fighting in Anthony Pettis' promotion. And what do we say about guys fighting in Anthony Pettis' promotion? They're fade material on Contender Series, let alone in UFC. And what happened? Choinsky gets him down a couple times. I think he had 1, maybe 2 takedowns, and it's just this boring fight. Mederos has good speed. Does he do anything with it? I don't know. Power-wise, he's not going to overpower Padilla. I think Padilla is just going to be a little bit better everywhere. So Padilla is one of my favorite plays on this card. But the way my year has been going, take that for what it's worth. But I do like Padilla. I believe I will be betting money on him. So
that'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
There's both ways there. You're convincing me like I'm wrong. So you can always tell it's a passionate take when you spin your cohort on live stream here.
Yeah, Choinsky and Quinones and Hubbard by split. Not the most impressive resume.
Yeah. Keep in mind,
Kevin,
we're not running to the window to fire 5% play on this fight, just so everyone knows.
Okay, that's a great point. When I say I might be playing Padilla, just know this is a very, very small amount of money that we'll be playing on this one. Kevin Gastelum and Vicente Luque. I'm not in any hurry to bet either one of these guys, but you will never convince me to lay a cent on Vicente Luque. I don't care who he's fighting at this point. If Gastelum's fat ass can make weight, then I think he runs through Luque. What do you think?
It's the breakdown. You can't do anything with this fight until weigh-ins. That's the breakdown. Give us a real X's and O's breakdown, Jim. If Gastelum's fat ass can get within the 5-pound penalty limit.
Not the actual weight.
No, be within 5 pounds of the weight agreed upon, then he's going to beat Vicente Luque. And he's probably going to finish him.
Look at his profile pic.
I know. God, what's that, from high school for him? When's he ever looked that good? Give me a break. I know he's not finishing anybody recently, but Luque really is looking all of his age and his wear and tear. So I will pick Gastelum. I'm not betting a damn cent on this fight until I see weigh-ins and post-weigh-ins. I need to see if they check Luque's brain and tell them the fight's off. This is the fight. Like, if you could bet right now, fight doesn't happen. This is where your money goes for the week as far as fight doesn't happen. Moving on.
Buckley gets the finish. He beats Temba Garimbo. That fight, that win has not aged great because it was just a kind of a weird little finish. Holland, one of the reasons why Holland got the choke is because Luque has absorbed so much damage and doesn't want to stand in front of people. He doesn't want to take damage. And how could you possibly blame him? I mean, this guy, the guy had a brain like a legit brain injury. So and then this Joel Alvarez, I have never been. I can't remember. There's been some bad ones. Can you remember worst beat on Fight Doesn't Go than this stupid thing? Joel Alvarez hits him in the eye,
Yeah, they're
and
out there, but
and
yeah, this was bad.
Luque is like, he poked me in the eye. Like Luque like goes down, is like, he poked me in the eye. They wait a few minutes and then they do the replay and it's like, no, it wasn't a poke. You got punched. So it should have been called right there. And then Alvarez is beating him up on the ground so bad that he's looking up at the ref. Remember this?
Yes, unfortunately,
He's
I
like,
do.
he's like, would you stop the fight? The guy like, and Alvarez like felt bad for him and was like, I won't hit him with all my my force. I'll just like kind of, and literally Alvarez is looking up at the ref going like, this guy's going to get hurt if you want me to drop the hammer here, and Alvarez has mercy on his soul. Like of all the fights that goes the distance, Joel Alvarez beating the shit out of Vicente Luque is the stuff I lose sleep over. So I Gastelum doesn't finish anybody, but you're right, Jim. If he is going to finish somebody, this is a ripe candidate for it. So last fight, and then we're going to get to PFL, and we'll do the woulda, coulda, shoulda, and parlay buster. Charles Radtke and Francisco Prado. What do you think?
I was all about Radtke. You know, the big problem with Prado was his size. That's his issue, right? Stumpy arms. But then I go look at the size difference, and Prado's actually the bigger guy.
I was stunned by this as well.
So
I could not believe this.
That swings my entire pick in this fight. Like
look, I'm sorry. Look how short his arms are.
I know. He's got T-Rex arms. He's like Sean Shirk. Remember Sean Shirk years ago? Shirk would throw the biggest hook ever, and it would only be 5 inches in front of his face. He just try to swing these hooks coming in. It's the same thing with Prado. I just don't think Radtke's as good or as tough as he likes to say he is, number one, and as we thought he was. The guy gets hurt a lot. He's soft to the body, and we know that Prado can get hit by a bumper from a Buick and walk right through it. So I think he's going to be there. I think the wrestling of Radtke is looking very overrated just because he wrestled Blood Diamond. I've completely switched my pick, man. I'm picking Francisco Prado to get the W over Radtke. I wouldn't be shocked to see a finish.
I just can't with these short arms, man. Like Radtke, you look at Radtke. All right, he gets the finish against Frunza. All he did was take him down and hold him there and couldn't quite get a whole lot going. But Frunza, like, had good ground defense. Okay, fine, whatsoever. But gets knocked out by Malat. All right. He does take care of business against Selmasburger. And by the way, how would you like your UFC debut to be against Carlos Prochazka? Is that going down as one of the wildest UFC debuts? Like, we talked about Pico against Lerone Murphy, but I like Pico's like world renowned. But Charles Radtke, you're going to fight this guy named Carlos Prochazka. So, yeah, if Radtke takes him down, he can control him. Does he do much damage? No. Is he high volume? No. I can't with Prado's arms. This guy's lost 3 in a row. His win is against Izaitar, who gets knocked out by everybody. This guy lost a decision to Jamie Malarkey. I don't think he can. He's got to get so close to land a punch that I'm just not really sure that he can do the damage on Radtke. I'm going to pick Radtke. I'm not going to bet it, but I just wouldn't be surprised if Radtke gets takedowns. There's a little bit of scramble. Prado gets up and can't do any damage. And then Radtke takes him down again. And this ends up just being a weird, clunky, funky looking fight that you're just like, Prado just can't get inside to do the damage with the arms, and Radtke takes advantage of it. So that'll be my pick for this one. So, all right, let's move on to PFL Chicago. While just explain the state of PFL and betting, because I think we're liking PFL betting a little bit more than UFC at this point.
Yes, they have completely pivoted. Pivoted it. The new president, I love this guy. This is somebody who actually knows what the hell they're doing from a running of a company standpoint. I'm not talking about the matchmaking. I'm not talking about his IQ with fight knowledge. The guy knows how to run a proper company, okay, and put on cards every 2 weeks. We don't have to wait 9 weeks in between a card. We don't have to have a tournament style. They're really going back to the roots of everything, which is just fights. Put on good fights. And we're seeing that with the matchmaking. They're doing a good job building their homegrown stars and putting these guys in main event showcase matchups. I mean, we just had a main event last week of Johnny Eblin and Brian Battle, but right before that we got Dalton Rosta and Impa Kasanganai in the other one. So I love where we're going here with PFL. It's become bettable again, and we're so far reads have been pretty damn good. 1 in 1 week last week, no harm, no foul. But we like this card again. I think there's money to be made here as well.
All right, well, let's get to it. Let's just start with main event.
Okay.
Sergio Pettis and Mitchell McKee. I think I'm banned from betting on Sergio Pettis because whatever I think is going to happen, the opposite happens, and I think part of it is because I've met, hung out with, and shot a documentary about Sergio Pettis, or it could just be that Sergio Pettis's fights are fucking weird. Weird stuff happens in all of Sergio Pettis.
I like this take better. I think you're on pace here. This is
if you can tell me that you have correctly predicted the last 7 Sergio Pettis fights, more power to you. So just I don't know. What do you make of this? You're skeptical of this Mitchell McGee.
Yeah, to me, this is less about Sergio Pettis. Keep in mind, first of all, that Sergio Pettis, even though he's a veteran, age isn't an issue. Age is not an issue right now for Sergio Pettis. Where's he at right now, actually?
He's 32.
Yeah, early 30s. So he's got 2 more years of his prime before we really see a decline here. So don't rope him in with Anthony, who's an old man now. We just don't want to see him fight anymore. But this Mitchell McKee, look, 10-0 prospect. He's never tasted defeat. To me, I don't believe that he has the complete skill set to go to war with Sergio Pettis. It's knockout or bust in this spot. The speed advantage for Pettis is going to be huge. If he does not catch him in rounds 1 or 2, he's not catching him. The speed of Pettis is too good. I don't see the crispness on the shots. And really, how's he going to react when the fight goes south? If the fight goes south, how is he going to react at 10-0? I just think it's too soon. I understand why they're putting him in this spot. Again, they need stars. They need young stars. McKee has a big following. I'm going to pick Pettis. I'll go Pettis by decision.
I agree. Yeah, Pettis still has gas left in the tank. And this is you just kind of have to say the guy does have really good fight IQ. In the middle of the fight, he just pulls out some pretty good moves. The spinning back elbow was insane. And he beat Stotts, but I got to tell you, man, I went back and watched that fight today. He so did not win that fight. That fight.
I know.
And you know the tell? When he didn't think he won the fight. And that was after the decision. He was like, I'm with you that this is kind of a big step up for Mitchell. And even though Pettis loses to Patchy, loses to Horiguchi, and probably lost to Stotts, come back and get the spinning back elbow is pretty impressive. So we move on to Jordan Newman and Josh Silveira. I have nothing on this fight.
Pass. Jordan Newman's a good prospect. I don't know. Fight goes because it's a Silveira fight, right?
Yeah,
you can go that route, but moving on. That's going to be
Stotts and Kava. Talk about a fight that goes. This fight. This is going to be minus 1,000 to go the distance. Who finishes who in this one?
Well, we're going to hope that they make a mistake on this line here and we can get an over 2.5 that's playable because I think that's the only way you go in this fight. Kavilov, a justifiable 11-0, but Rufian Stotts is no slouch. A lot of miles on the tire, but he's number 2 for a reason. I think this is a clear-cut decision.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of wrestling. There's going to be a lot of posturing. There's going to be some clinch and grappling exchanges, and both these guys know how to. But both these guys know what submissions possibly could be coming. They're going to be well ahead of it. It's going to be a very defensive fight, in my opinion. So, Gabriel Braga, and I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. All I know is I want this fight not to go the distance. You're going more specific with it though, aren't you?
This is number 1 versus number 237.
You bring up a good point.
Remember in high school when you got your SAT score? And when you had like 300 kids in your class, right? And you're like, hey, at least I'm top 200. I'm not in the bottom 100, right? It's kind of our boy that we can't pronounce. We'll just call him Dead Meat. How about that? Let's go to Dead Meat's profile real quick and let's look at the level of opponent.
Dead Meat?
Because he's Dead Meat. Let's look at the level of opponent.
Oh, you caught Eric Vo as his last fight?
We love us some Eric Vo, but 0-3, 2-6, 4-0 Edwin Chavez. What is the 4-0 Edwin Chavez been doing after his LFA loss to Dead Meat?
Oh boy,
I'm assuming not much.
Not been going well.
7-5. Okay,
not been going well.
Yeah. This is such a get-right spot for Braga. It's not even funny. It's Braga by finish. It's Braga by finish in round 1. I think this is within 2 minutes, Gabriel Braga just running through this guy. I'm excited to see the return of Braga, especially after coming off that loss again to Pinedo. This man has lost to 2 people since 2023, Pinedo and Kizriev.
Kizriev by split.
Yeah, that was close too. You're right. 100% right.
Yeah, Pinedo just has his number.
But who knows? We get a third fight. Pinedo coming off finished loss himself. We'll see. But this is a setup for Braga. They need to get him on the winning track and get him back to being a name in the PFL.
Can I interest you in fading a truck driver?
2-2, buddy. 2-2.
All right, we got Vivian Araujo against Shanna Young. I'll let you do the truck driver thing.
She is a part-time truck driver. That is right. Driving the big rigs. This is a real-life, over-the-top situation. If you're a fan of 1980s movies, Sylvester Stallone, Over the Top, great watch.
Wow.
Just watched it the other day. This is the real-life version of that just for MMA, and it's not like the movies, guys. It doesn't exactly work out in real life. Look at this woman that she beat. Look where these W's are coming from. Keep in mind that she's losing in Invicta as well after getting her fights in the PFL. She beats, Sandra Lovato in the PFL. Go back and watch that fight. It is wretched. And we said to ourselves, we are fading Shanna Young until she is gone, and I'm sticking to that. We're continuing to fade the part-time fighter against a woman who's fought nothing but killers. You go in on Vivi. Go right ahead. Give us the run.
Yeah, she lost to Tracy Cortez, Natalia Silva, Amanda Hebus, and Alexa Grasso. Beat Karine Silva, beat Jennifer Maya, beat Andrea Lee. Yeah, this is a full-time fighter. This is what she does, and I will be happy to bet on Araujo over Shanna Young. We'll go through a few of these. Nate Jennerman, nothing on that one. Biagio Ali Walsh, who broke our hearts, is a minus 1,400 last fight. But I don't know, man. This Biagio Ali Walsh, that he's shown cracks in his game early, and it cost him in the last one, and now he's in a playable price against this Dash Harris. What do you think?
Well, Dash Harris is 2-0, but the combined wins of his opponents are 0 because they were 0-0 when he fought them as a pro. He does have amateur experience, wins and losses. I just don't think that they would set this boy up to fail again. We still should see improvements for Biagio Ali Walsh. Here's the truth of it. That minus 300 could look like the steal of the century in this fight. He also could go out there and not move his chin like he hasn't in any of his fights and get clipped by Dash Harris. So I don't think it's worth paying money to find out. I think you're going to have the right time to fade this kid. I don't believe it's going to be against the 2-0 Josh Harris, though.
Rodrigo Nascimento and Alexander Romanov.
I would love to pick Romanov, but we've seen that Romanov is going to pull some shenanigans. You're not going to. It's going to be hard to get live lines on these, but this is a total. If the fight starts round 2, you're betting Nascimento. This could sneakily be a really ugly decision. I think it's just fight goes too tired, fat,
both these guys. Yeah.
Well, like, you have the big finishing ability of Roma, big slams, and Nascimento's submission. I think these guys lean on each other for 3 rounds. Another bad heavyweight fight.
I was surprised to see how many fights Romanov has been doing since Popoff. Guy did a wrestling match. Guy did Shogun, did a grappling match. Shogun against Jared Vendera.
Jared, yeah.
I remember Jared.
The walking concussion right now, Jared Vendera.
Yeah. Kind of like Romanov, but he's pretty juiced. I don't want anything to do with it. What I always struggle with her name. Watanabe, that's right, against Paulina. We'll just say Paulina. What do you think?
2 W's for Andy. Tough fight here. Tough fight. Wisniewska, great prospect. Loses a split against another great prospect her last time out. I just think Watanabe is past her prime. I'm not willing to lay the 330 right now. The book is out on Paulina. She's the favorite for a reason. I think that Watanabe is past her prime at 37 years old. So it should be her by decision. I do think there's going to be a round in here that's going to be kind of ugly, and we're going to get the takedown for Watanabe, and that we're going to be worried about Paulina going into this. I see this being another tight decision, maybe split decision. Not willing to pay to find out, but this should be a good learning experience for Paulina, seeing how she can do in the wrestling with Watanabe.
Watanabe's not going to look like this on fight night.
No.
Just want to let everyone know that. I don't know anything about these next two. Bafari and Fake. Vok.
That's a pass. It's a sideshow freak fight. It's probably Omar, but they're not good.
Right.
Jenna Bishop going up against a 6-0 prospect. Now, Jenna Bishop coming off losing the title fight. I believe that was the last time we saw her against Liz. That's right. So that was in the World Tournament. So coming back again, still invested in the sport. Barina's level of competition is bad. I think this is Jenna Bishop. Jenna Bishop by decision here. She's proven that she can be tough. I mean, look at this. 2-0, 1-0, 2-0, 0-0, 0-1, 0-0. Jenna Bishop, it's wild to say this, has the tougher strength of schedule than a full-time MMA fighter because she's doing jiu-jitsu all these years. I think it's Jenna Bishop. I think pretty safe play here. Just take Jenna. Again,
my favorite play.
Minus 300, though.
My favorite play on the PFL card is Jenna Bishop.
Jenna Bishop.
Have you watched her fight?
Yeah, they're not good. Yeah,
it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's really. I went to Trader Joe's today and I had a bag of groceries. It put up a bigger fight than some of these women that this Barina has fought. Like, it's terrible. Jenna Bishop should roll through her. Like, absolutely roll through her. This is one that's going to look like minus 800, in my opinion.
You think it's a finish? You think she gets to the submission game?
I don't know about finish because that's not really what Jenna Bishop does, but I will just point out that Jenna Bishop is 9-3. Her losses are to Liz, Dakota Ditcheva, and a split to Tyler Santos. Yeah. Those are her losses. Mm-hmm. Not exactly. She's not losing to. She beat Shagalov. She beat like Chelsea Hackett. I'm sorry. All of these women would beat this woman. All right, I digress. Enough time on Jenna Bishop. All right, here we go. Let's do our Parlay Buster and our Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. You can pick anything in PFL or UFC. So where do you want to go? We'll start with Parlay Buster.
I'll go right to UFC.
Okay.
Let's go right there.
Parlay
Parlay
Buster.
Central. I am going to go right to Mateusz Gamrot. I think that he'll be a heavily parlayed play on the undercard as a favorite. This will be a link to a lot of stuff on the main card, and it'll be linked to a lot of things in PFL. And after round one, if Ribovics stuffs a takedown, oh boy, look out, because he is going to look live as live could be. So I will be looking to play Ribovics.
I will scroll down that much so I can take Tatiana Suarez as the Parlay Buster. I think people are still hanging on to what Tatiana Suarez was, coming off a win against Lemos. And I think our breakdown says it all. I think they're going to see minus 155, minus 160 on Suarez and go, oh, I get the much better wrestler, and think she's ripe to be beaten. So, all right, woulda, coulda, shoulda. A bet that we're a bet that we're going to look back and go, man, we should have bet a whole lot more on that one.
I mean, it's fade central on this card. It's absolute fade central. We've got
PFL?
Kevin Holland that we could fade. We've got Barina. You know what? You feel so strongly about Jenna Bishop? I'll go with you on Jenna Bishop. After seeing what you just said, Liz Carmouche, Dakota Dijova, and Talia Santos, and she's going up a 6-0. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. When Jenna subs her in the first round, could be the easiest minus 300 you've ever seen.
All right, that's
I'll
going
go
to be
right
your...
there. You have the board. Go ahead.
I'm stunned you didn't fade the truck driver here. We've got... All right, you gave a PFL, so I will do a UFC one. What's one that was just right in front of our eyes? Just right in front of our eyes.
I mean, it's Gastelum over Luque.
Is it Gastelum? It might be. It might be
This UFC
Gastelum.
card, you could do one for every fight. What's the shoulda, woulda, coulda in Gastelum? Gastelum by KO knocks him out, right?
I'll just do something with Gastelum fading Luque, who's just not. He's not there durability wise, and I think he knows it. And his fight style is very, very defensive. And Gastelum, if he can make weight, that's going to be it. We need a backup when Gastelum misses weight and the fight doesn't take place. So,
dip your toe in a Kevin Holland fight, do you?
I was going to say a Randy Brown when Holland's just completely disinterested, and it could be Randy Brown. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. Like button. Please hit the subscribe button. It helps us out. Leave us a comment. Tell us your best bet. Tell us who you like, but also leave your Wager Talk username in the comment section below. Tell us how many significant strikes in the main event between Jiri and Carlos Ulberg. Whoever's closest will win a free 3-day pass. And B-Dog Bets, I'm putting your 3-day pass from last card. I'm starting it tomorrow. That way you get Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You get Masters plays, you get UFC, you get all that stuff. So that's going to go in your account starting tomorrow. Thanks very much, guys.
Speaking of the Masters, join us Saturday for the greatest idea in taste test history.
We
want Takedown Live. In honor of the Masters, our fearless leader has come up with green foods. So join us while we taste nothing but green foods in honor
of the green jacket. Our taste test, we go to the store and just get anything that's green. You could do one main dish that's green, or you can do a bunch of snacks that are green. But the theme Saturday night is green. So if you want to join us and just have something green, it'll be great because myself, Jim, and Jan will all have green tongues by the end.
What's green eggs and ham in there?
Oh, green eggs and ham sound great. Yeah, we'll do the what's the green liqueur? The Mel.
Oh, Maduro, right? Or Maduri? I got a bottle right over here.
Might have to get some Ecto. Some Ecto cooler, stuff like that. So yeah, anything green will be good. So all right, we'll be live on Saturday. So hopefully we'll be rooting on all of our winning UFC plays, and hopefully we'll have cashed a bunch of Masters bets by then. But join us then. Thank you very much. Good luck on all your bets, and we'll see you everyone later. Take care.
See you Saturday.